Let's go now to the UK. Let's get the latest from our Sky News contributor, News Corp European correspondent, of course, Sophie Elsworth. So we've talked about Jack's Law in Australia. This is the father of Jack Beasley, who was killed tragically in a stabbing attack in the Gold Coast in 2019. He has fought so hard to get knives off the streets. He's won that argument in Queensland. He's fighting hard in Victoria. But he's gone up to the UK, your way, to fight knife crime there. Have a listen.
Queensland Police Service have scanned over 200,000 people and taken some 2,000 weapons off the streets just in Queensland alone. So the law is a groundbreaking law in Australia, and we think the law will work here in the UK as well.
It comes at a good time. It comes at a tough time in the UK, but timely to have this debate. Of course, you've just had that mass stabbing attack in Cambridge, 11 people hospitalised. How has he been received in the UK?
Yeah, great to be with you, Peter. Look, I spoke to Brett Beasley this week. He's in UK until Friday, having a series of meetings with key politicians, members of Scotland Yard and other organisations here. And he's accompanied by two senior police officers, Reece Wildman and Brad Ricks. And they're really trying to push, Peter, to have the same legislation, Jack's Law, introduced here in the UK because of the benefits they've seen in Australia. And their timing is really quite important because, as you just highlighted, we've had a series of stabbings here, including that mass stabbing on a train near Cambridge last weekend that left 11 people hospitalised. So Mr Beasley is very inspirational, Peter, in really trying to do some good from that horrifying attack that sadly resulted in the death of his 17-year-old son at Surfers Paradise. And he's been very optimistic that the UK have received him well here and are potentially looking at implementing something similar.
It would be to Victoria's great shame if Jack's Law was in London, in the UK, and it was not here in Victoria because Jacinta Allen has rejected it thus far. Ricky Gervais, he is the comedian, of course, but he has shaken up things with the Transport for London crowd. They're not happy with him, are they?
They're certainly not happy with him, Peter. He's been posting online for the past week or so saying he's had these billboards that are really like mocking some of the situations here in the UK. And he's saying things like you need to wear a stab vest when you're out in London now, and just sort of making light of something that is obviously incredibly serious. But he's saying these billboards have been rejected by Transport for London. But Ricky Gervais is making a point here. Crime is very serious here in London and in the UK, and he's trying to highlight that. And as we know, he's very outspoken. He's anti-woke and he's trying to push messages such as this. But he says he's been stymied along the way.
And what about this one too? A women's college in Cambridge, the oldest of its kind, has faced backlash for creating a gender policy stating that it's open to, quote, female applicants, including those born as men. I mean, give me a break, Sophie.
Well, Peter, that's more of some of the madness, unfortunately, that you're seeing here in the UK. And there's very much a push on inclusivity, but very much at a point where it often impacts women, and they're the ones that pay the price here. So this is a controversial move by one of the oldest institutions in the universities here in the UK, and one that certainly has drawn a lot of criticism.
Yes, they're not going after men's-only spaces. It's women's-only spaces that are under assault. We can't say that enough. England Rugby has also said the term man of the match, it's offensive. It needs to be gender neutral, we're told.
That's right, Peter. I mean, now for men's sport, they're saying man of the match could be deemed offensive. And again, it's back to inclusivity. Perhaps it might be offensive for women's sport, but for men's sport, people are saying, really, is this serious? So this is another situation here in the UK which has drawn criticism, people saying it's farcical. And where is this going to end, Peter? Where is this push for inclusivity actually going to stop and come back to common sense and practicality?
Hang on. So let me underscore that. You're saying that the men's rugby game that has a man of the match for the men's rugby game That's offensive.
Well, that's what they're saying here, Peter, that to say man of the match is a problem. And so it needs to be drawn back so that we're not gender identifying people who are best on field. I mean, figure that one out.
Oh, my gosh. Geez, I would have thought men's rugby was the last place that they'd go woke. But anyway, there you go. I thought it'd be table tennis, but men's rugby, leave that there. Thank you, Sophie. Stay warm. It looks pretty breezy over there.